Apply to the second row. Okay guys, right away we want to apply manure. This is our second batch of manure application in 3 months. Like I said in my last video, our banana plant is actually, or banana orchard is actually 3 months old, and we've done our first phase of manuring. So the second phase is ongoing at the moment, so follow me through to see how we're doing that. So it's very important to apply about a foot or 2 feet away from the banana plant. Very essential. This compost is comprising of a cow dung and the goat droppings, and also uh, weeds, that's grasses. So they contain some form of organic material or bacteria that might even harm the plant. So don't apply directly to the banana stem. So always give a foot away from the banana, just like we are doing right away. So guys, the manure application is very important. It speeds up the growth process, likewise ensuring a good yield. So at this point in time, just like we said, there are 3 months. So during their fruiting stage or before their fruiting stage, we're still going to apply manure. The compost or cow dung manure, or organic manure rather, comprises of three basic elements. The basic elements that will ensure good growth in your farm: the NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So it's very important. Those elements are very important. You apply them because your bananas and your plantains, they need that, or they need those for massive growth and good yield. So the nitrogen is necessary because it entails how healthy your banana plant is by ensuring the greeneries. You see how the banana leaves are actually green? This is because of adequate nitrogen. So it's actually taking enough nitrogen that requires this green aspect of the banana leaves. So when your banana leaves start turning yellow, that means they're lacking nitrogen. And also the phosphorus is also important for root development and then fast growth. Likewise, the potassium is quite important during the fruiting stage. So by the time it gets to fruiting stage, probably by the 6th, 7th month, we're actually going to apply manure. So in that case, the potassium content will also boost massive yield. So it gives quality food, quality yield, and good growth of your general farm. So it's very important you actually apply. That's why we emphasize on organic manure application. So we don't do chemicals, we don't do artificial industrial manure or industrial fertilizers. We do organic, homemade compost manure. So let's continue. Before the application, we're also going to open up the banana, the base of the banana plant. So just like we have here, good, we open it up a little bit, open it up a little bit. Likewise here, open it up a little bit so we can effectively apply the manure. Open it up a little bit, just like so we have here. Open it up a little bit, open it up, open it up, so that when we apply the manure, we can actually cover, and the manure will start work immediately by ensuring the roots actually get to utilize the manure. Let's apply to the second row. you know, we've actually done manure application on this one, on this I think 1 2 3. So that is why we did only these 4 banana plants. So we're going to start from this to that edge. So you is cow dung with goat droppings and also grasses we cut from this very farm. So we're taking just, even though this still contains the old ones, we apply. So we apply at the open trench. So so we make sure we actually apply around. So after application, we'll also cover these trenches so that there won't be occurrence of evaporation, so that the manure will not evaporate off from the soil. So make sure we get everything on the ground. So being that we're in the rainy season, the utilization of this manure will be very quick and very fast, because there's moisture in the air, moisture in the soil. So the roots will constantly search for those nutrients. And these guys, plantains and bananas, they are top feeders. So they are constantly searching for the nutrients which they require for maximum growth at the top layer of the soil. That is why in my farm, I don't dig very deep. I dig about 1 foot and I plant. Being that these guys are top feeders, some people are digging so deep so as to avoid wind from bringing down their plants. But at that point, the nutrients which they require might not be found very deep into the soil. Like I said, they are top feeders. So it's very important you actually dig. Let your hole, when you are planting your bananas or your plantain, make sure your hole doesn't exceed 1 foot. So this will help the bananas to constantly utilize the nutrients available at the top layer of the soil. Those nutrients which they require, they cannot be found 3 feet or 2 feet. Probably 2 feet is okay, but 3 4 feet, no. But I understand some people dig as much as 3 feet 4 feet to plant their plantains and banana, but I don't recommend that, because once you do that, you find out that your plantain or your bananas might not do well because they lack the nutrients to actually give you what you need. So in a case whereby you don't apply manure, they don't get enough. But in this case, even if we do not apply manure here, the top layers are very fertile. The top layer, you can see, top layers are very fertile. They can actually give the plantains what they need, or the bananas what they need, pending when we apply our manure. So let's cover. We cover the manure which we've applied so that the roots will come over and make use of them. At this point, it's very important to actually, I want to show you something here. So we want an easy airflow. You can see here is quite covered and quite gloomy. So we want an easy airflow into the banana at the base. So we're going to take away about 3 of these leaves right away. So to allow easy access of the air. All right. We're equally going to do the same here. All right. This one is already turning yellow. So likewise this. So we'll get rid of this. So we're also going to come over here and do the same. Cut this, and this. So at this point, they're already beginning to build some harmful organism that might not be useful, that will definitely not be useful to your plant. So is our young sucker. Okay guys, very important. Okay, see, what we have here is a very deep clay. This is reddish clay soil. It's dominant here in southeastern Nigeria, and this kind of soil, it is not ideal for the growth of your banana or your plantain. This is the guy we dug out from here. You can see the root system. This is the size of the banana, and this is the size of the colleagues. They are doing pretty well. So why is this guy not doing well? You can see that soil. It can never thrive in that kind of soil. Look at this guy here. You can see the loamy dark humus we have there. Look at this. So it is not going to thrive here. So we want to do some correction here, and if we do not correct this will also affect this guy which we want to put here. So we've dug out this, we're going to trash this one, we're going to put this guy here. But before we put this guy here, we want to do some correction here. How do we do this correction? We're going to bring an external soil, a dark humus, very rich soil like this, as we have at the base. We're going to fill it up here, and then we're going to mix up with compost so as to enrich this soil. So you see that we dug it round. We're still going to dig more so as to do our correction. So it's very important to know this, the type of soil you plant your, is that your cassava, your plantain, your bananas, any crop at all. So the fertility of the soil matters. So this is not a fertile soil. You understand? This very reddish soil, it's not fertile. It's just kind of, I think it's just, we can only find it here, this section. So you cannot see it there. You can see dark humus over there. You can also see the dark humus soil. So I think it's just predominant in this very vicinity. You can see it's just over here, just over here. So but we're going to do that correction right away. All right. Okay, you can see what we've done here. In order to enrich this base, we've actually filled it up with a compost and the humus soil, like you can see over there, and you can see at the base, instead of the reddish soil, this reddish soil, we have this rich humus loamy soil. So we're going to plant plantain and then cover, but we're not going to cover with this reddish soil anymore. We're going to cover with the dark loamy soil as you have here. So very important. Let's do that. Okay, so you see how well this guy is going to do in just few months. All right, let's cover. Let's actually look for good soil. We cover. So you can see over here we have rich humus. So we go again, we get very rich soil over there. We go again. Very important. Okay. So see what we have here. So this is the clay, reddish clay we dug out. Laterite. That's laterite soil. So we fill it up with the compost and the humus soil to actually enable this guy speed up the growth. So this is the guy we dug out here. This is literally the most or the youngest or the shortest of them all. You can see the size of others. You can see the size of others. But this guy is quite small due to this clay soil. This is not a rich soil, so it was actually retarding the growth, and not anymore. All right. Hello guys, welcome to Stagro Farms. All right, on a quick one, if you look over here, you will see our young sucker emerging from this young mother plant. This young mother plant is actually 3 months old, and at 3 months the mother plant is already giving out a sucker. In as much as this is not the only mother plant giving out a sucker, there are multiple number of them giving out a sucker, just like that one over there. You can actually see the sucker in there. This is the same size with this dude, but you can see and imagine young sucker over here. Okay, if you must know, this is not the right time to actually leave his sucker for your mother plant to actually grow with, because they need every nutrient. This is the time they need all the nutrients necessary required for them to actually grow and then yield massively. So what do you need to do? You need to get rid of this. You need to actually get rid of this. And mind you, this is a very wonderful sucker. This is what we call sod sucker. Why do we call it sod sucker? Because of the nature of the leaf. You can see the leaf is looking sod-like. It's actually looking like a sod. So this kind of sucker, they are ideal for transplanting. They are good if you want to start up a new banana farm. You can actually utilize these ones. They grow very fast, and if you want to replace a mother plant, you can actually leave this type. They grow very fast and they give good yield. I'll give you an example of what we call water sucker. So over here is an example of water sucker. So this is a water sucker. It's grow very slow. The growth is quite slow, and then it doesn't give good yield. You can see the difference between the leaf. This is broad, and that the other one is kind of sod-like. This is water sucker, and the other one, this is a good example of sod sucker as well. This is a sod sucker. You can see the leaf. It's sod-like. You can see this is broader. So if you want to start up a new farm, you have to utilize this guy. All right.